name's Izera Stephen.
And what do you do?
I'm a musician.
How long have you been playing music for?
A long time.
Has it always been keyboards?
Predominantly, yeah. I spent a lot of time playing guitar over the years, but we've never taken to each other the same way the keyboard has. So really is guitar on and off to some degree, drums, but really keyboard. You know, that my earliest memories of playing music have always been with keyboard and piano.
Have you always wanted to play and have a music career?
Looking back, yeah, definitely. Looking back, I don't think I realised for a long time that, you know, it was something that I always thought was, it'd be excellent, you know. I'd see people like Guns N' Roses and stuff back in the day, and I'd think, that's just strangely appealing for some reason, you know. I could never work out why, and I always in the back of my mind thought, oh, that'd be really cool, yeah, that'd be really cool, but I never actually, it never clicked to like, hey man, how about you actively pursue it? And, you know, I sort of bumped into some quite inspiring people a couple of years ago, and I thought, oh, you've got to get out there and make it happen. I had no idea. I just thought you got awesome on your instrument, and suddenly that doors open, corks were popped, backs were slapped, and you're a gillionaire, you know what I mean? I had no idea, so, and over the last few years it became quite evident that that's what I really want to be doing and actively pursuing.
So how long have you been busking for?
2 years now.
And what made you want to start doing that?
There are a few different reasons, really. I mean, it had been something that I'd been thinking of and toying with for a couple of years. It looked like a lot of fun. Yeah, it started off, and yeah, now it's going really, really well. I really wasn't sure how it was going to take to people. Yeah, because some of the music's quite peculiar to listen to. You know, it's not all of it, but some of it's quite strange. And I thought, you know, man, people are going to run me out of town. You know, like, you know, what is it? Grab your torch and pitchforks, all that sort of stuff, you know. A virtuoso before he takes on other forms. So like, sort of did all that sort of thing, and yeah, straight. I mean, I even get elderly people come up and say, "Oh, we really like that," you know what I mean? And I'm sure if they heard it blaring out of a VL Commodore with a subwoofer, they'd be, "Oh, young whippersnappers," you know. So it's been really, really encouraging, and just really good to have that kind of, yeah, to be doing it and having it work.
What were you doing before you started busking?
Bits of part-time work on and off, you know, done a lot of factory work, some childcare work. So look, I never got a great deal of satisfaction from any of it, really, you know what I mean? The childcare was wicked, working with kids. Kids are awesome, man, you know what I mean? They're heaps lively, they're sprightly, they're energetic, they're entertaining to watch, like they're always doing something, you know what I mean? Especially the naughty ones. You can't help but laugh, man, you know? But look, working in factories, oh man, it just crushed my will to live, man. I just couldn't do it anymore, you know. You just wake up and you think, oh, I've got to stop doing that, you know. And busking's the result, you know. And you know, now I wake up and think, oh, awesome, wonder what's going to happen today, or you know. So it's a stark contrast, and one very much for the better.
You just recorded a CD called Cracker, which is the sounds of Rundle Mall. What were your thoughts behind that?
Well, initially I hadn't actually really even thought about bringing out a CD out, and then a lot of people were saying, dude, this music, you've got to have a CD, man, you know. So it took considerably longer than it should have to get it all out and happening, but eventually it did. And yeah, I guess it was largely just a response to people being really interested in having a copy of the music for themselves. They've been selling really well. People have, you get so many like really positive letters and stuff back off of the internet and things like that, where people are like, you know, this hasn't left my CD player in a month, you know, and you think, oh, wow, man, that's really good, you know, that's really, really good. I had no idea. I originally always thought I was just going to be sort of like some some strange, eccentric, long-haired guy sitting at home making up this really otherworldly music, and it was just going to be like, you know, I don't know what I thought, you know what I mean? And I would never dream normally, but it's got it out there, and it's been really good to hear what people are actually thinking of it. So, yeah.
How did that sound of Krakow and the Rundle become your sound?
Largely from busking, that sound has sort of come about. And I think just in the mall, you bounce off how people are reacting to what you're doing, so that really fine-tunes what you're doing a lot. Like a polishing kind of thing, really. You can sort of focus the sound a lot more.
You've also released 2 tracks, Sick Machine and What's Up. They're both very different to the sound of Krakow. Does that surprise people?
Does it surprise people? I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I imagine it kind of would a little bit, just because there's vocals, there's guitars. It's a very different kind of music. Yeah, it's much more song structured and things like that. But most of the people who've heard it, even though it's quite different, a lot of, especially What's Up being quite a dubstep kind of feel, and crosses over with sort of like a metal kind of thing, that it's been fairly well received from what I can tell. It had a bit of play at a couple of the industrial gothic clubs, and apparently people really liked it, especially Sick Machine, so that went down really well. So my main aim is to get like a radio airplay. That's what I'm eventually after. That's the direction I really want to be going. Hopefully over the next maybe 6 months to a year I'll have a band up and going, and that will be up and running, and that should be really good. Start performing that live.
In those songs you not only wrote all the music, but you also wrote the lyrics and did the vocals. Is that something you wish to pursue? Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, vocalist is that's what I'm really chasing for next. I love the keyboard. I'll always play it, and you know, I'll head back into the mall and continue busking even if things go, you know, if become very successful. I love it. I love that one-to-one with the people and everything, because it's just great. I love talking with people and meeting interesting people, but being a vocalist in a band setting is that's what I'm really after next. So these songs have been like a bit of a toe in the water to see, you know, how, you know, gauge people's reaction to it. The next CD, which hopefully will be out in the next few months, will have those songs plus some new ones on there, so that's probably going to be where I can really sort of test the water by, you know, how people react to that from there, and then I can work out, well, okay, is vocalist for this sort of music going to work? Perhaps I may need to make changes here and there. Perhaps I'm not the right person for it. I can sort of reevaluate from that point once that CD is out. So you mentioned you're starting your band. Have you always been solo, or have you been in a band before?
No, I've never been in a band before. No, just always solo. I mean, I guess even solo is more of just me sort of playing here at home, really, up until busking. You know, it's always just been something I've done here in my studio, but getting one up and going should be great. That'd be really, really good, and really where I want to be sort of heading.
You recorded those 2 songs as well as the Krakow CD in your home studio.
That's right.
How have you taught yourself the recording and mixing side of the music?
There's some really good online resources. Like tweakheads.com is probably the #1 spot where I've sort of picked up what I have got. That's just been so informative, especially because I had no idea about it. I just knew that I really wanted to do it, and like anything in those sorts of fields, whether it be music, movie, anything, there's quite a learning curve involved with setting things up, angling things. Common sense goes out the window. It's a completely different way of going about everything.
Where do you get your inspiration from?
That's a good question. Engineering and things like that's always, I find that it's just so inspiring for me, you know, machines and things that do stuff. So look, working in factories, visually it was very inspiring. A lot of the artwork I do is very much based on what I saw in those factories and things like that. So, and video games, like a lot of the early 80s stuff, I don't know, all sorts, cars, other music, a variety of sources, everyday life, all sorts of things. Anything to do with creating something, preferably that you've never seen before. That's where I'm at. So with what I do, it's not strictly limited to music in any such way. It's basically anything to do with just creating something, something new where possible.